my side of the video, I played 10 games of Overwatch competitive. I split them into 3 tank games, 3 support games, and 4 DPS games. Sadly, my Xbox did not want to cooperate. We don't have any in-game audio clips for this section. Sorry, it just kind of sucks. But here's how it went. For my first tank game, I had one player with a mic. Didn't really say much, and then went quiet when no one was talking. DPS struggled throughout. I felt overwhelmed on tank throughout because of it, but it's not my main role, so I didn't expect it to go that well. As for the second game, started really bad. The team played really well, but played really bad, but I also played pretty bad as well. They 99'd it on us, but we came all the way back in the first round. Amazing team. I wanted to point that out. This is what was originally the best game of the entire set. Ended up being the second, because I'll talk about that way later in DPS, but one of the best games of the day. My team communicated really well, didn't pin blame on anyone, and I even asked, hey, can I swap to Ana? Who should I swap to? And I was like, hey, could you play Ana? And they're like, absolutely. Great team overall, and we worked smoothly and non-toxically. For the third game of tank, I'm just gonna be honest, I play like trash. The server had an error and kicked me apparently, but I wasn't winning it anyway. I was playing like hot garbage. As for tank overall, it's my least played role, and it showed. First game was meh, second game was great, and the third game just sucked, even prior to the kick. So, played awfully, but I don't really play tank, so oh well. Not much toxicity, not a lot of positivity to talk about. I expected a lot of tank diff or something like that, and I didn't get any, so that's a positive. Now for my support games. In the first game I came out as Kiri, and then they came out as Hog, so I was like, you know what, let me try to spice it up a little bit, because I mainly played Reinhardt and D.Va during the tank section, so I said, let me play some Ana. You know, I don't normally really play Ana, like, at all, especially because I'm on console, so I can't aim very well, like you need to for Ana, so I was like, let me try to counter. Hanzo went 6 and 6, and then he tried blaming the supports for not healing him, and then we lost, obviously, because he went 5 and 11 after that, and I think he rebounded to go, like, 11 and, like, 16 and 16 towards the end of the game or something, but my teammates weren't that good. I probably should have stayed Kiri. I could have done more, or Lifeweaver or Mercy or someone Brig, obviously not Brig on Gibraltar, but someone I could play better, but still there wasn't much we were going to be doing there when we were getting, not steamrolled, but we couldn't really stop him on defense, but we could do a little bit on offense. Also our Mercy screamed at our Hanzo during this, which I wish I got. It was really funny. This dude's mic was loud, like real loud. He screamed, I'm not going to repeat fully what he said, but he said, get the off with Hanzo, if you're not going to get a kill, you don't know what the hell you're doing, stop blaming me. And yeah, it was kind of crazy. But again, my Xbox doesn't like to record in-game audio through voice chat, so sorry guys. As for the second game, I played Kiri, had a tank who fed the entire time, and this is, by the way, the worst game of the day. I want to point this out right now. My words are not going to be able to express how awful this game was. I had an audio clip of this guy, and it didn't save again because my Xbox is trash, but oh, it was awful. This is the worst game. It might have been one of the worst Overwatch games I've ever played. Our tank fed, and then he went into the void. Well, first he said, heals, ? And then I said, you're pushing past us. This was on Route 66. He kept pushing past us on the third point into their spawn, and then would cry about heals. And I said, dude, you're feeding. We can't heal you. Please stay back. He did not like that, so he went into voice chat, screamed at me, said, we're all trash, and that we have no clue what we're doing. We're getting out-healed in a Sig Lucio comp, which I understand where he's coming from, but then he decided that it was because of our rank, and he was like, oh, well, you wouldn't understand that, though, because you're plat 2. What are you, probably plat 3? You wouldn't understand that, though, because you're so stupid in this rank. It was a plat 2 to plat 3 lobby. We were the same exact rank, and then he blamed us, and you're effing terrible, you're trash, whatever you could think he was saying it. He's blaming us. It's not his fault. Not his fault at all. Even if it was our fault, even if it wasn't our fault, he couldn't have done anything to help us. This is only his fault, like only our fault, not his fault, nothing at all. Just our fault, nothing else. In the third one, shockingly, thank God, the teammates were a lot nicer, and finally in voice chat, if I had the audio here, they were saying some things that I can't repeat, which weren't very nice, but they were cool people, but their language wasn't the greatest. Not that I really care, but just obviously I wouldn't be able to show you this clip even if I had it because of the language, because, YouTube and all that. But our DPS did not care about helping very much, so it was kind of sucky the whole time. We were just getting dove. I can go Brig, it still didn't mean anything. Yeah, they just kind of, ran through us because our tank wasn't very good either, but it was just kind of, so as a group, our team was not very great. Overall for support, I didn't know how it was go because the whole season I've gotten DPS. Like 90, I've queued all roles all season. 90% of my games have been DPS. 40 hours total on this season. I think at least 30 are on DPS or something like that. But I didn't expect it to go this bad. This was generally like the worst time playing support in this game ever. Ever. It was awful. And again, this is, all my ranks are plat 3, plat 4, plat 2, somewhere around there. My support is my best role, and this was the worst time I've ever had in game. And I realize now why I don't go in voice chat, because this is awful. As for my DPS games, first game I went Freya and then swapped to 76, which is kind of what I've been doing. I tried for this challenge, like, spicing it up a little bit, but that was the plan, and it didn't really end up that way. Not much really to say. Team didn't group up or play as a team. Kind of all around. I'm the only one who went positive, and even at that I was 7-6. So, just kind of a meh. Didn't really work as a team kind of game. Game 2, one of the best by far. I started Freya, I did really well, and then towards the end I played 76. We lost this game, yes, but I had a 4-stack in voice chat. Nicest people in the world, they were so nice, and it made me want to play better. It was so awesome. Like, one of the only times I can count on my hand that I've had a great time in voice chat. They were so nice, greatest people. I didn't care if we lost, it felt like a win. That's how great it was. That's how nice they were. Game 3, Freya again, and this game went well. Probably the best game of the day, I'd say. Basically the last game without the voice chat people, but with a positive ending. We won. I think I went like 30-8 or something like that. I don't remember. Definitely one of my best games of the day. Yeah, not much else to say about that. Game 4, finally the game of the test. It didn't really go well. Same thing as the first game of DPS. Team didn't really play as a team. Didn't want to cooperate. Everyone was doing their own thing. Didn't really go that well. As for DPS overall, I thought it would snowball like the rest of the day, to be quite honest with you. But it didn't. I mean, it didn't go really well either. As you could tell, the MMR was not on my favorite today. Solo queuing, it was just not. It was not at all. But again, as I mentioned earlier, it's the role I've played the most this season because apparently role selection is broken for me because I only get DPS this season. Like, I don't know what's going on. But again, 30 hours out of 40 at this point, I feel like, in the season, and I've only gotten DPS, so it's not my favorite. But definitely better than the worst. Definitely better than the rest, I'll say that. Now, overall, my thoughts on this, probably should have warmed up beforehand, I'll say that, because I kind of just jumped into it. I also made the bad decision of putting tank first. So I feel like, my least played role. Now, obviously, I've played tank a little bit. I've played tank, I think, at least 100 hours, I think. It's just not that great for me, and I really shouldn't have started with it, because it kind of threw me off the rest of the day, but in general, the MMR wasn't in my favor. I didn't get great teammates. I got a lot of toxic teammates. Over a 10-game span, obviously. You could say 2 or 3 is a lot for a 10-game span, but not for a 50-game span. But MMR wasn't in my favor. I also made some dumb mistakes throughout. It's not just on the MMR or my teammates. I also made a lot of dumb mistakes as well. And it kind of snowballed to a point where I was like, man, just get me out of this. That last DPS game, even though it was I just wanted to get the hell out of there. I was done with this challenge. But I think what I wanted to express the most, I don't know about my partner, but I wanted to express, and I think it showed a lot in my games and in how I explained my games today, that in voice chat, 80% of the time is not the nicest thing, and it's kind of toxic, and it's a lot of your fault, not my fault, your fault, not my fault. I just wanted to show that toxicity is only going to make the problem worse in voice chat and in general. If you go out here and you start blaming your teammates and you start screaming, cursing, calling them slurs in voice chat, the game's over. Almost 99% of the time, the game is over. We are not winning. But if you're positive and you try to stay positive, hey, could you swap to Ana? Hey, you maybe don't say your KD's not doing the best, but hey, your KD's not doing the best. Could you swap to, I don't know, they're playing Hog and They're playing Reinhardt and they're playing Pharah. Could we swap Bastion? Could we get a hit scan? It will at least give a chance for the problem to be solved and have something creative instead of just causing toxicity all around. Just going, well, if you're going to be toxic, then I'm going to be toxic back to you. And I think, again, I think that's the entire point of the challenge.
And now on to the 10 games of Horrible Rivals played by yours truly. So for my portion, I'm going to be doing it a little bit differently, mainly because one, there's no role queue, so I wasn't locked into playing one role the entire game, and two, there is an extra person on both teams, so that does make a bit of a difference, so my portion is going to be a tiny bit different. I will say, playing tank, I came into it expecting it to be really bad. I don't know why. I think it's just all the clips I've seen and like all the bad experiences I've heard about playing tank in this game. I'm like, okay, so it's probably kind of like Overwatch, where your tank games are either really, really good or really, really bad. But they were actually pretty fun. I will say that. They were pretty fun. Having the extra tank there, or having the option to have the extra tank there, is actually really nice. But yeah, the tank games were actually pretty fun. I found myself playing a lot of Captain America and Magneto. I don't know why, because from what I can tell, they have very different playstyles. So overall for tank, honestly, I didn't think I'd ever say this with a tank role, but tank was pretty fun. I can't lie, tank was pretty fun. Now, I didn't play DPS at all. Maybe I played it for half of a game or two, so I can't really speak on it too much. But to be honest, I'm not much of a DPS player. It's not really my role, really, so can't speak too much on it. Now on to the support. Now, when I said tank, I thought would be the least fun. Yeah, I lied. I thought support would be like the worst experience in my life. Probably because I've heard even worse things about the supports in this game. I mean, like, like 2 months ago maybe? Or there was this huge thing about this, like, strike that players were going on because their tanks and their DPS wouldn't turn around to help them. And like, Overwatch has gone bad when it came to that kind of thing, but like, I've never heard of people going on strike playing an entire role. Like, that was so crazy to me. So I was like, okay, I don't think it's gonna be like that, but you know, obviously I'm kind of scared now. But honestly, no, it wasn't that bad. Maybe because I didn't find them targeting me too much, or because our tanks and DPS actually were like pretty quick to turn around and help us. The characters in this role that I found to be pretty fun were Loki, probably Luna too, Jeff is pretty chill, and Invisible Woman. I tried Rocket because our team had a Penny. He's okay, not really my character. He's quite simple, really. So again, he's a fine character, just probably not my go-to. But the other four were definitely ones I had a lot of fun playing. I can tell that Jeff probably isn't the best pick overall in a comp game. But yeah, like, these games went crazy. I'm sure if you guys have seen my last video with that person, our support game went kind of crazy. Like, I'm just checking some of these stats right now, and like 39 kills and 19 deaths, that's not great, but 44 assists and 26k healing. Granted, I don't think I played support the entire game for this one, but you know, still. And like, going deeper into these games, like, but yeah, here too, 14 kills, 42 assists, 28k healing. Now, it's definitely because there's an extra person to heal. But like the healing numbers in this game were crazy to me. So, yes, support overall not as bad as I thought it'd be. Actually, it was a lot better than I thought it would be. So for the entire day, I went 8-2. Definitely aware that my previous experience from years of Overwatch definitely helped me in these games, and also because a lot of my teammates were like cracked. Like these guys were like, it was actually insane how good like these guys were. Like we had a tank in a game who had like 58 kills and like 50 assists. It was crazy. So yeah, overall, I had a pretty good time. Like, I did enjoy my time. So yeah, that is how my time in Rivals went.